actually, originally, if we see Krishna, why did we come into existence? Why did we come into existence? Because, as it is stated in the Vedanta Sutras and Upanishads, Anandamayo Abhyasat. By nature, Krishna likes to enjoy. To enjoy is an intrinsic characteristic of Krishna. Inherently, Krishna likes to enjoy. And enjoyment is always in the company of other personalities. Enjoyment is in relationships with other individuals. Therefore, Krishna's Hladini Shakti expands into various personalities in the spiritual world. Like Radharani, the Gopis, Nanda Maharaj, Yashoda Maya, Sri Dama, all these personalities are expansions of Krishna's Hladini Shakti. Simultaneously, Krishna also expands himself into the Jivas. So, Eko Bahusyam, that one personality, Krishna, he became many living entities so that he can exchange various relationship of Shantarasa, Dasyarasa, Sakhyarasa, and Vatsalyarasa and Madhuryarasa. In these 5 primary relationships and associated with those 7 secondary relationships, Krishna exchanges various kinds of rasas with the jivas, and like this Krishna enjoys. Eko Bahusyam Anandamayo Abhyasat. So all the living entities are originally created for serving Krishna and to enjoy a beautiful, sweet relationship with Krishna. But then, because of the unique characteristic of the jiva, when he sees Krishna is surrounded by all these devotees and they are all serving him so nicely, some few jivas who are little, cracks, some wiring goes wrong in their brain and they think, if only I could also be like that. Just that tiny, the flickering, momentary desire. That's all. You see, just like sometimes when we were not in Krishna consciousness, when we were outside, I'm sure all of you would have felt, you would have seen some Bollywood star, he's coming and all fans are mobbing him. When you look at him, if only I could be like that. Suddenly it pops up, that desire. Or you see some rich man going in some big car. Moment you see that, if only I could be like that. Or if you are going to work and suddenly the CEO or the chairman of the company strides in, he's followed by 2-3 servants, somebody is carrying his bag, somebody is carrying his book, and another driver is carrying something else. When you look at that, one day, if I also can be like that. That momentary desire comes in the heart, no? Same way, that desire comes when we see Krishna being served by all his pure devotees in the spiritual world. That is the first misuse of the free will that we all have done. And the moment that desire comes, because Krishna, he does not force anybody into loving him. And Krishna wants to satisfy every living entity's desire. The moment the jiva takes up that desire, Krishna says, okay, you got the desire, I'll satisfy. But satisfying that desire in the spiritual world is not possible. And therefore, the jiva falls down from the spiritual world into this material world. Although in the spiritual world, there is no influence of material energy. There is no influence of the 3 modes of material nature. Still, the living entity has not lost its capacity to desire. The living entity has not lost its free will. That free will is always there. It can always misuse. It can always desire. If we say that jiva cannot fall down at all from the spiritual world, then the point that comes up is, the question that comes up is, that means jiva can never desire. Then where is the question of free will? The jiva can never desire wrongly. The jiva can never desire to take up Krishna's position. Then where is the question of free will? That is the first question that comes. Second question that comes is, then that means Krishna, when he created us, he put us into the under the influence of material energy directly. Why did Krishna create us? All conditioned souls. He created us as conditioned souls. That is the implication of saying that the jiva never fell down from the spiritual world, isn't it? So but then according to Shastra, what is the purpose of creation? Why did Krishna expand into all the living entities, to enjoy relationships with them. That was Krishna's original desire. He did not want to create jiva so that they are always conditioned. That was not Krishna's desire. That is our desire, to become under the influence of Mahamaya and try to enjoy ourselves. That's not Krishna's desire. So Krishna originally created us as pure devotees to enjoy a wonderful relationship with him. We are the people who misused and came to this material world. Krishna has created this material world for us, not for himself. So we have to understand that the jiva has originally fallen from the spiritual world, and because of that internal envy of Krishna's position, and actually at the root of the desire, oh, if only I could also be like that, is actually anger. It is anger. Anger in the sense, why only he should enjoy? I should also be able to enjoy. Actually, the root of that desire is anger. Because if you try to stop that desire, what will happen? That anger will manifest. So that means anger is at the root of our misuse of our free will. And that is why the first covering of ignorance that a jiva has to take up when it falls down into this material world is, as Prabhupada is mentioning here, it is Tamisra. As Prabhupada is mentioning here, the first condition is a covering of Tamisra or anger. Constitutionally, each and every living entity has minute independence. It is misuse of that minute independence for the conditioned soul to think that he can also enjoy like the Supreme Lord, or to think, why shall I not be a free enjoyer like the Supreme Lord? You see, this is the minute misuse of the minute independence or minute free will of the living entity. This forgetfulness of his constitutional position is due to anger or envy.